I have watched the arts world explode. I've also watched some parts of it go down, and in the performing arts. For example, growing up, we had a fantastic Philharmonic. Then it died, and it took a while to come back with the New World Symphony and now the Cleveland Orchestra, visiting. So, I mean, I've seen some ups and downs if you look at the culture as a whole, but the art world in particular has exploded. Largely, I think, since Art Basel, I think, first came, which was 15 years ago, when I was still an event person and I was doing the very first Art Basel events, aside from when Art Basel first started, there was the Basel tent, and then there was a company that closed down the design district and did a street fair. That was me. What that's grown into, is just massive. So, and then there's certain stalwarts that have been here forever, like the Low. That has lived through everything. Still here, still thriving. The Miami Art Museum became the Perez. The only downside that I see is the somewhat of competition between the museums in terms of people, for both visitors and funding. The only downside of having so many organizations and so many museums is it's still the same pool of funders. So whereas at one time, this was the only museum around, there was nowhere else to go. If you got off a cruise ship and you wanted to come to a museum on Miami Beach, you came here. Now you have so many options, which is terrific if, for all the reasons that we stated, but it also does have a little bit of a competitive. I live in an area that when I moved into it, it was called, Susan, why the hell are you moving into that area? On 34th and Biscayne. There was nothing. What's now Midtown was a train yard. And the design district was literally that. It was showrooms for decorators, right? And Wynwood was really factories and one or two bold souls went in there, aside from the Goldman. No, Craig Robbins is the design district. The Goldman family, a few other, and they opened up one or two galleries and a couple of restaurants. And once it took off, those bold souls all got driven out because they couldn't afford the rents. So now they're doing it again, right, up in sort of the Little Haiti area. And some of them tell me that the way they're trying to do it this time is by buying the buildings, so this doesn't happen again. So some of the areas that were wonderful to go look at originally now have become packed and mobbed, and there's two sides to the explosion.